Hello, my name is Nicholas Childs. I'm the conductor and director of the Dyke brass lessons.
In your lessons, you really will have tips from the principals. Today, your teacher is Principal Cornet, Richard Marshall.
Welcome to beginner lesson number 1. During this tutorial, I'm going to be speaking about posture and breathing, making a sound and playing your first notes. So what do I mean by posture and breathing? One of the most important aspects about playing a brass instrument is to breathe properly. If you don't breathe properly, your sound is going to be really affected. How to breathe properly? Well, I would suggest breathing properly, filling up with air from your stomach, up your body, just like a bottle of water really. So you fill the bottle up from the bottom to the top. Nice and full and easy. Try and make your breath as more relaxed as you possibly can. So this is even before we start to play a note on our instrument. To do this, I'm going to give you an example of a bad breath. A bad breath would be this. A good breath would be this. Now, when you're going to hold your instrument, so my cornet here, holding your instrument is really, really important, and to breathe along the side of that is going to be more equally as important as well. So, holding the instrument is really important. So, what we're going to do is just take the instrument in our left hand, and then with his right hand, little finger through the hook, your fingers over your 3 vowels, and you're ready to go. Now, putting that into practice with your breathing is another main aspect. So a bad breath would be this. That's not a great example, because as soon as I breathed, my arms went in, my shoulders tightened, and look where my cornet was facing. My cornet was facing flat to the floor. You don't want to do that, especially when your audience is straight ahead of you. So what's really important is to balance out your shoulders so your shoulders feel nice and relaxed, and you breathe nice and fuller, and you keep your arms nice and extended so you feel nice and free. Listen to the difference now. Making a sound is a great experience on a brass instrument. So how do we actually make a sound? Now you may be thinking, why is he stood there with a piece of hosepipe? Well, this piece of hosepipe, for a start, is a lot cheaper than a brass instrument, but it does exactly the same job. So let me just do this for you. So we've talked about breathing in your earlier lesson, good posture. So I'm going to breathe, I'm going to push air down my hosepipe, see what happens. So you can actually hear all the air going down the tubing. And like I said earlier, tubing is what a brass instrument is made of. But you can't physically actually hear any sound, can you? So to actually hear a sound, we need to do something very, very special with your embouchure or your lips. And that is, we've got to create a buzz, just like this. So creating a buzz means that we need to create a vibration then from our lips down the tubing. So I could try that just on my pipe, so we'd do something like this. So there's this kind of sound there, but it's not a very good sound. Okay, so one important thing we do need to use when we're playing a brass instrument is one of these. Now this is a mouthpiece. The mouthpiece is like the key to your front door. Never, ever, ever lose your mouthpiece, because you will never, ever, ever be able to play your brass instrument, or certainly not successfully anyway. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to breathe and we're going to buzz our lips to make us vibration down your mouthpiece. So we're now making a sound. Let's add that to our piece of tubing. And again, we're going to buzz down his mouthpiece, down the tubing. It's going to cause little vibrations, and we get this. Yippee, a sound. Now that sounds pretty good, but if you notice on most brass instruments, they have like a round bit at the end of a brass instrument. Now that's called the bell. Now what I'm going to use for my bell is this piece of plastic funnel here. So if I add my funnel to my tubing, we get this. As you can probably notice and hear, that the sound is amplified a lot more. So that's how to make a sound on a brass instrument, by vibrating, making a buzz into your mouthpiece. The vibration travels along the tubing and out through the bell of your instrument. So by projecting the buzz, the air, down the tubing, which making your vibration, and obviously out the funnel at the end of your instrument, that's making your sound. So let me demonstrate to you now how to make a high, a middle, and a low sound. So to make a high sound, you simply just squeeze your lips together and push lots of air. To make a middle range sound, we just relax your lips a little bit more. To make a low sound, we loosen the vibration a little bit more and we play a low sound. So that's again how to make a sound and the different pitches on a hosepipe. So after demonstrating high, middle and low pitches of sound, I thought I'd play a quick tune for you just to show you the differences. So this is from Rossini's William Tell. So now that we've learned how to make a sound on your hosepipe or your brass instrument, we're going to definitely concentrate on your brass instrument now, which is a nice shiny instrument. So what we're going to do now is learn your first note. Now your first note that we're going to learn is a low C, and that low C looks like this. And the low C sounds like this. Now what's really important, again, going back over the things we've spoke about in the lesson so far, is to breathe correctly. So breathe nice and full, loosen the vibration, so don't squeeze the lips together too much, and try and play the best low C as you can. So I'd like to concentrate on just playing a low C for 4 beats, which is a semi-breathing music, then resting for 4 beats, playing another low C for 4 beats, and resting for 4 beats. So just keep repeating this process until you can play the sound really nicely and open as well. So we do this. So you can actually repeat that as many times as you want until you're making a sound that you're happy with. Again, remembering to keep your shoulders nice and relaxed and your breathing nice and full and easy. The next note I'd like to introduce you to is a D. It looks like this. Now you probably might be thinking, oh, a D is one note higher in the alphabet than a C, and you'd be right. So to play a higher note on an instrument, we just need to slightly squeeze our lips together a little bit more, but again, take a nice breath and push lots and lots of air through the instrument. And another difference about the D compared to the C is that we use these. Now these things I'm pressing down for you are called valves. Valves alter the pitch of your instrument, and that's the main invention really of them. So if I played you a C again, and I wanted to play a D, what I'd need to do is press valve number 1 and number 3 down, slightly tighten my lips, or my embouchure, which is the correct word for your lips, and then blow the air through nice and easy, and we get a D. So that's the sound of a D. Now, like we did on the C, using semi-breves, so using the 4 beat notes, I'd like to play quite a few low Ds for 4 beats, breathing for 4 beats, play the note again for 4 beats, breathing for 4 beats. Do this as many times as you want until you're getting a nice clear sound. But remember your good breathing. So that's a D. So you've now learned your very first 2 notes on your brass instrument, which is a C and a D. You're doing really, really good. You could also, now that you can start to play these notes nice and clearly, you could start to mix them up a little bit. So I'm going to play a couple of little tunes for you now. And these tunes are from a book called Team Brass. And these tunes combine C's and D's together. So listen out really carefully to the changes of the pitches of the notes. test yourself even further, why don't you have a go at this tune called Elegy? The only notes that we use in Elegy are C and D. We play crotchets that are 1 beat in length and minims that are 2 beats in length. I'll explain more about that in lesson 3. Listen first while I play Elegy, then you can play along with me. So throughout tutorial number 1 for a beginner brass player, we spoke about posture and breathing, making a sound and playing your first notes. And you've done really well. So the lesson aims are to have a good posture, hold the instrument properly and make a good vibration. Always remember this throughout your brass playing, and to make a consistent airflow throughout every single note you play. My little golden tip of the day will be to practice as much as you can in short lengths of time and enjoy what you're doing and try and make the best sound you possibly can.
I hope you enjoyed your lesson from your teacher and tips from the principals. Why not download your next lesson in the series of the Dyke brass lessons?